Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal 411, and today's unboxing is on Uncrave, also known as Saffron gum. I'm going to talk to you about how, or at least why, I think a lot of Americans are overweight or have an overeating problem. There is some great information on saffron as far as an appetite suppressant. In addition to gum and the activity of mastication, has a way to wake up. A lot of Americans are overweight, and that's fair, especially coming out of COVID, but we were overweight before that. The trajectory that's occurring now is going to lead the U.S. as the most overweight population in the world. So we certainly don't want to participate in that kind of statistic. It's up to you to do the things that will help keep you at a healthy BMI as you continue aging. Don't wait until the last minute. If you wait until you're 60 and try to lose weight at that point in time when you're retired, I think it's going to be much harder because of those hormones that have gone. I feel that a lot of people will blame it on the 50-hour work week or shift work, and that does have a little bit of an application in it, but you should be able to throttle your nutrition and your exercise to meet the demands of your lifestyle. Bottom line is that I think that this can help with a lot of folks who are finding their way or just starting on this process of lifestyle change. With summer coming around, grilling, celebration, alcohol, it is important to anticipate all those weeks of celebration by watching your weight, exercising, staying healthy. I mean, we can take advantage in Chicago this summer, but if we just wait until the last minute, like the day before the event, you're gonna feel a little guilty if you overindulge. I think it'd be easier to take care of the problem beforehand. For those patients of mine that are now starting on their journey of 3 months of a pulse change of some sort, I think it's important to have as much in your corner to help you with the appetite suppression. Not to deviate from our unboxing, but I think the most important thing with people that are trying to make a lifestyle change is to reset your circadian rhythm and also be aware of those signals that say hungry versus thirsty versus sleepy. So let me present my case. I did a collaborative online event with Sandhya from the Fruitful Yield. That's a nutrition health store in Illinois that is, I think, one of the best ones. Talking about appetite suppression, one of the interesting ideas that she came up with is saffron, so I did some research and it was positive. This is just one study that evaluated saffron, or specifically the active ingredient that was extracted from saffron, also called satiety. I don't know how they came up with the name, but satiety is that feeling of fullness. And a lot of us might misinterpret the feeling of fullness, or we ravenously eat and ignore the signals that are coming from the stomach and the fat cells to say, stop eating. When you ignore those signals, you tend to overeat. It might not be that much, but if you eat one small plate or a half of a small plate every day, 3 times a day, over the course of 10 years, that's a lot of extra calories, and it will add up. So there's 2 reasons why I think this will be a great deterrent to overeating. Number 1, there is saffron within the gum. The ingredient label shows that there's approximately 88 milligrams of saffron, or the active ingredient of saffron, in each piece of gum. And let me just open it now. And I don't typically like chewing gum because it gives me an upset stomach, but this is actually a gum. It comes in a tablet form. And the taste is pretty good. Now, I'm supposed to be fasting, but since it's Sunday, I'll break my fast just for you guys. It's wild berry. I think they have 3 different flavors. The idea is that you use mastication, or the mouth in its senses of movement and chewing, has a signal. It kind of reminds me of candy. At about 1 minute, the tablet starts to break down and become chewy. That gives me that sensation of chewing Bubblicious or Bazooka bubblegum when I was a kid. But number 2, it does contain saffron. And in the study that was done with a randomized double-blinded placebo control, it showed that the use of saffron at about 176 milligrams per day divided by 2, AM and PM, helped mildly to moderately obese patients lose weight or have a sense of satiety. When you have that sense of satiety, you don't grab for food all the time. Be careful about interpreting those signals. Again, dehydration, sleepiness, anger, frustration, they can all be misinterpreted as being, you gotta eat. And if you keep on rescuing all those signals that are being sent all throughout the day with, you gotta eat, you'll be overeating by the end of the day. And that sets up for insulin resistance, which is another cascade of hormones that makes you want to eat. So if you're trying to cut back on calories, like using the Prolon box or just dieting, or just joining Weight Watchers, I think that's fair. The problem is if you just bank on willpower and the deadline of, I want to lose 100 pounds in 3 months, I think it's important to be accountable to somebody else because other things always get in the way and you'll rationalize your way out of your diet because you're too busy, it's more important to do this, I'm starving. So it'd be wise to prepare for your event and have a rescue of some sort throughout the day. You can certainly just take saffron in the dose that was suggested in pill form. But the third reason, as I mentioned before, I think a lot of people misinterpret sleep. And when you misinterpret sleepiness as hunger, again, you'll overeat, or you can actually overeat in the middle of the night when you're supposed to go to sleep. I can't sleep because I'm bored, so I might as well eat. That's a no-no with regards to bowel function, with regards to hormone secretion at night, and it's stimulatory, which is my final suggestion, number 3. There's something called mastication-induced arousal, and that's when you move your jaw, open and close your jaw, and it stimulates being awake. It's a sympathetic response. For me, if I get sleepy driving, I'll just start eating something. In fact, I took a group to Bryce Canyon. It's a 2 to 3 hour drive to get there from Las Vegas, and I had to make sure I stayed awake. So we stopped at Whole Foods, and I bought this huge container of fried pork skin. I'm kind of on a carnivore experiment currently, so I was chewing on that during the 3 hours to make sure I wouldn't fall asleep driving. I'm kind of sleep deprived as a doctor and a small business owner, but it always works for me. The only problem is if I eat for 3 hours, snack, and it was all carbohydrate, that is not a good insulin response. So I kind of chose to go with the pork skin, although I'm gonna have to check my cholesterols after coming back from Bryce Canyon because I did a lot of chewing. The bottom line is that this product gets a thumbs up, and for a couple reasons. Number one is that you have this mastication-induced arousal. So if you're sleepy and you're misinterpreting going to sleep as eat, it'll take care of that. Try chewing 1 tablet of this gum and see how it affects you. Number 2 is that it contains saffron. As I mentioned earlier, the active ingredient of saffron gives a sense of satiety, so it will help you maintain that fast if you're doing a fast, or not snacking if that's your challenge. Number 3, if you rely on standard gum that has sugar in it or sugar substitute to wake you up, to help you with faking out the stomach to think that you're full, I think this would be healthier than all the other sugar or sugar substituted gums that I see on the market. As always, this is not meant to be a substitute for medical advice, so take this information to your doctor and see if it pertains to you. I think this would be a great addition on your journey to lowering calories, increasing exercise, finding spirituality, and trying to get a healthier lifestyle. So thank you for watching up until this point in time. If you guys have a gum that you like or a flavor that you like out of the Uncrave line, please put them in the comments down below. Please share this with other folks who are having a problem with weight loss, which is like everybody. Consider subscribing to my channel and watching the next video I come out with. See you at the next video.